copyright strike by pausing the music. Maybe, just maybe, I can put on some classical or something. Maybe that'll work. I don't know. I'm just gonna get back to what I was doing until somebody joins. Check my email. There you are. Hey, how's it going? I'm checking my email. I'm waiting for people to join. I don't have a discussion topic. If you've been keeping up with the videos, you'll see I uploaded a few shorts this week, and I've been working with Dan on the 1968 Chevelle, doing the wiring on that, front to back. Got the trunk done. There's a few things in the engine. I'm waiting for Dan to finish a bracket for the fuse box, and that's about it. Today I was modifying a piece for the glove, for the dash cluster. There's where the ashtray used to be, there's not going to be an ashtray on this one. This car actually has the windshield wipers deleted, so it's not going to be going out in the rain or much at all. So the ashtray has been deleted, and so I built a panel for that, and we're going to put the OBD port in there and the switch for the it's a 1-2 switch for the Dakota Digital Dash cluster. I installed all that, did all the wiring for that. Everything's ready to plug into the dash cluster, and then that should be it on the inside till Dan gets the carpet set down and the seats and all that stuff. The door panels, the dash, everything else is done. I got a wire in the stereo, and like I said, the alternator, loom the wires in the engine compartment. That's about it. There's not a whole lot to do there. Also, I think maybe tomorrow, Dan put the fuel pump in the tank and the sending unit, all custom, high pressure for the injection system. And he's gonna put the gas tank up, mount that, and then we're gonna build the connector for the sending unit and the power lines, and then I gotta go run the power lines up to the fuse box when he finishes building the shelf for it. So we'll see how that goes. What else is going on? What else is going on? Let's see, what else did I work on? Anybody have any questions about cars, about life? One of my customers is a psychologist. We have conversations. So they get pretty interesting, I swear. Let me see if I'm missing something here. Philip and Anna, hi. I was just checking to make sure the chat was working because I didn't know something was broken, or, but I never know. I don't go live that often, so I'm trying to get this thing set up so I can put in some side videos and things like that instead of like switching the camera and showing you my laptop and stuff. Need to get some better software, but I was just going over what the things that the things I was helping Dan with on the 68 Chevelle. There's some shorts on that one, and I'm trying to double check my notes here of anything else that I may have going on, so not sure. Again, if you guys have a topic of discussion, if you have some questions or anything like that, just throw them out there. I've been a mechanic for over 20 years. I've been mobile for 10 or 12 years now. I mainly work in the O'Reilly parking lot because parts are available. It's a good contingency plan, and it's a good place to meet people who are having problems. And if you work well with the staff at the auto parts store. You can build a good rapport with them. I have for a decade now, and I've been there on their turnover probably for 3 managers, maybe 4. And still work well with the crew. And yeah, they'll bend over backwards for you. I've swapped motors out in an O'Reilly's parking lot, transmissions, axles, used their pallet jack to swap out axles on a F-150 pickup truck. So a little goes a long way. Keep your work area clean, be respectful. I was going over here to check my notes to see what I'm missing, what I should have accomplished today that I didn't get to, or what I've been working on this week, so I could share that with you. Until somebody asks a question about something. I'm sure I have an answer to something. This brain's full of stuff. Let's see, what else do I got going on here? I can tell you what I got going on. Let's see. Yesterday, didn't do much. Some home stuff. And then on the 1st, I was building that custom panel for that gauge cluster. Here, I'll show you. So this here's the panel that I made where the ashtray goes on that gauge cluster. It's all Dakota Digital right there. And then I had to French this in and glue that in, and right about here I cut a little hole. I'm gonna put an OBD2 port, and right here we're gonna put a switch for the Dakota Digital. Just what I've been doing with the wiring. And then, hey, calm down. And that's the piece that I cut the panel out of. Let's see, today we got some of the wiring straightened out, and this is what's left on the interior. Everything's exactly where it should be. Like, I got the ignition switch up here, and again, the windshield wipers are deleted, but there's a harness over there for it on the other side. We're gonna plug that in, but it doesn't do anything on the end. And then we got the courtesy lights and everything here, and then that ashtray, the rest of this panel goes here. Today I built a metal panel right here to hold the center speaker. The center speaker actually has left and right tweeters in it. It's a dual channel single speaker with left and right tweeters. So it's an upgraded single speaker. There's the panel. There's a panel. There's a panel I made for that. Dan painted that up. That looks nice. And I mocked it up today to put the OBD2 port in there, and then drill the hole here for the switch. And here is the gummy I put on the top edge of it right here, so it'd stick to the inside of the dash but not resonate. And then I had to build this metal panel here, and I put some 1/4-inch hose, put a slice down that, put that on the piece of steel so I could wedge it up against the inside of the dash, and I made a bracket section over here. And that's that. Let me see if I can go to my photos and find, there's the bracket that I built. There's the hole, and that's where the speaker is in the center of the dash. So that's what it looks like after I built it, painted it black. And then, oh yeah, hang on. And you notice there's left and right channels on that thing. I don't know. There you go, left and right tweeters. So, and then I got it up in there, and it's holding itself right there against a bracket, and then just one screw here, and this tension holding it. It's kind of bowed, so that's solid. It's not going anywhere. And now I can put the gauge cluster in, and I don't have to worry about getting up there except for just plugging in the wires. No big deal. It should be quick and easy. What else is going on here? I don't have anything. Oh yeah, I got rear-ended. It was a while back. I got rear-ended by this Mercedes, and he left his grill on my ball hitch. That was kind of interesting. I had to cut that to get that off of there. So that was fun times. Nothing else going on. The 292 project, there's a lot of videos on that one. The 292 project is running just fine. I've been contacted by this is smoking when it broke in, because the other issue that this thing had was the modulator on the transmission was sucking transmission fluid into the intake. So I had to go replace that. Once I did, it stopped smoking. But this was during break-in. That's the engine that I built, 292, board 60 over, new rings, new rod bearings, new main bearings. Everything was good on the crankshaft. And put a new head with hardened valve seats, 284 intake, stage 1 cam. I think went from a 505. No, it was a 404 to a 454 lift. Electronic distributor, got everything mounted up there. Used a mechanical fuel pump, fuel pressure regulator there. Knocked that down to 3 pounds. Ran that through a Weber 3838 on a Clifford intake manifold with 2 shorty street headers, and ran those together out the stock exhaust, which was actually only 2, maybe 2 1/4, but does not lack power. Probably pushing just a little over 200 horsepower on that motor. So the customer had got a hold of me recently and stated that it's time for an oil change. He's put 500 miles on this motor already. Everything is going great with it, so that's great. How do I get you back? Here we go. All right. So, I don't know. I could pull up some pictures of that thing too. Whatever you want to see. I got projects and we can go through and talk about. Or, I know, it's only 5 o'clock, you know. I know everybody's still at work, and maybe I'll just jump on here in a little while and go live again. Makes more sense. Just getting one person hanging out for a while. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll go make some coffee. Oh, just a second. Just a sec, I got a text message from my wife. Not that one. You ever text the wrong person? It's so fun. Oh, man. Dun, dun, dun. And threw away about 4 bags of garbage. Oh. Well, there's a procedure for that. I will give you the procedure. It's really easy, but it's procedure. Usually I don't answer the phone when somebody calls. However, my New Year's resolution is to answer the phone no matter who calls, because that's just what people do. Sorry, it's the wife. I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem having conversations with people. Um, as long as you realize I'm in the Puget Sound area, I can't come to California to work on your car unless you fly me out there. But um, and I start charging the moment I leave my house. So no, there's procedures. I do have my phone number is in some videos, and it's probably on the website, and it's probably on Instagram and all that. I mean, I'm not. I don't have my PO box listed. You know, like who's that guy? Pirate Software and Lockpicking Lawyer. I'm not famous like everybody else, so I don't have to worry about you guys mailing me weird tiles and stuff so you can find my house and my location. I'm not really worried about that yet. But my phone number's out there, and you know, if you the best way to get a hold of me would be through chat on a video. I'm down to answer some questions, discuss things, argue with you about things. If I'm wrong, I'll admit it. Like I said, been a mechanic for 20 years. I don't know everything. I'm still learning. So it's a fun process. But if you go to the website, there's a link that you can click. It's an intake form. And I mean, if you even have a question about something, you're welcome to fill that out. And I will try to answer questions there. I prefer texts or communications through chat or comments, but you know, whatever works. I'm trying to be here for everybody, so. Best car for beginners. Stick shift. Learn early. No, best car for beginners. I still think Honda or Toyota. The only problem I have with Toyotas are Priuses and some of the trucks, some of the 4.7s, 5.7s. They have they're quirky. A small Toyota car, a Volvo. Volvo's a little bit more expensive to repair, but they're a tank. The old Volvos are very thick steel, and they make very good beginner cars. They don't have horribly great gas mileage, but you can get them in diesels too. So it just depends on which direction you want to go. My son is going to be driving soon. We have a 2014 Ford Focus. I do not recommend Ford, and I do not recommend the Ford Focus, but it's been in the family for a while. And it needs a transmission like all of the Ford Focuses of the 2012 to 16-ish era, because it had a dual clutch automatic transmission, and it was designed poorly. And the Ford engineers knew that when they threw it out on the line, but they just figured that the recalls would be cheaper than pulling it and fixing the issue before it went on to production, and they were in a hurry to get it out. So they pretty much all failed, and so it's cost Ford a lot of money to fix that. But Ford Focus, the thing gets like 32 miles a gallon, and it's just a little 2-liter engine. It's a great little car. It's clean. Painted the rims black. It looks pretty sleek. So I liked it when we were driving it. But again, Toyota or a Honda. No Hyundai, no Kia. Those things just destroy themselves. And for a beginner, you really need to keep eye on the oil level, and especially on Hyundais and Kias. That's a problem, because if you go low, it's done. Yes, I have been a mechanic for 20 years. I worked in some shops. I worked for Dodge. I worked for a lot of other shops. I worked for some service writers that had walls of credentials, and worked with them for years. Got ASE certified. And for the last 12 years, it might be longer. I can't remember now. I've been strictly mobile. Started with a small truck, station wagon. When that broke down, while I was in between, got another truck, and now I'm on truck 3.0, which is a service truck. It's a 12 Colorado with a canopy on the back. It's a work canopy with the side doors that swing up and the shelving inside. And in the back, it actually has that large drawer that slides out. And on that drawer, I have fluids and kits, air compressor, and then wedged up inside, I have a inverter, a 3,000 watt inverter, which is enough power to run vacuum cleaners, grinders, or whatnot. But I still have battery powered tools. So I just have a battery charger and charge those up and just run the air compressor when I need. But yeah, strictly mobile. I do have a small shop and work on small projects in there to try to stay out of the rain. And if I need to pull a motor or transmission, I'll do that. And also, Dan has his own shop, which is, I think, a 60 by 100. He's got one lift, and he works on the classic cars. And I'll go out there and give him a hand, like currently working on the wiring on that. So there's that. I have another customer that's got that 83 BMW 320i, that orange one. There's also videos on that. And every week I go over there, and we're pretty much done. The last things that we need to do is throw a different intake system on it, because somebody had thrown an intake system for a 2-liter, and the 320s in America had a 1.8 liter engine, not a 2-liter. So somebody put the wrong intake setup on it. So once we built it and put the cam in it, it's hunting for idle, but it could be the camshaft, but it could also be the wrong intake setup. We work in his garage, so it's nice to be inside, and I try to schedule those days when it's rainy around here, because I just don't like to work in the rain. But having the control over my time and the freedom of it is very important to me, and I'll sacrifice working in the rain when I back myself into a corner for that freedom. So as opposed to working in a shop and waiting for a service writer to hand me stuff, and dealing with the politics of in-shop work, which I've done before. I won't do again, so just can't. Not Florida, no. Puget Sound, Washington, Seattle area. I have not really ever traveled outside of Washington too much. Just north and south, up and down I-5, Canada, down to Mexico, California. And I have, while working for myself, been all around the entire Puget Sound area, from 30 miles north to 30 miles south of Seattle, and I kind of landed on the east side area. Seems to be some of the better customers that appreciate time. They understand the value of time more than some of the other locations in the Puget Sound area and some of the other people. So, my opinion. What's going on, Tony? Did you bring some shit with you? Cause no, I'm having some good conversations with Philip and Anna. So, we were talking about that 68. Yeah, I know. I started at 5, and I was talking to myself for a few minutes until some people showed up. Never know if anybody's gonna ever go back through this, but I was showing some of the pictures and stuff of the crap I was doing with the 68. Nice. Yeah, it's Friday, I know. I got a full weekend, and you can call whenever. I mean, just hit me up or whatever. Just fucking text me, dude. if you can find my number, just throw me a message. And I'll throw you my number or something. We could chat. Anytime this weekend. I'm going to be working all weekend, except for maybe Sunday. I'll kick it and watch the game in the afternoon. Tomorrow night, I think we have a party to go to, some band or something. So I don't know. Let me know. How's it going, DeAndre? Tony, I could show you some of the shit I'm working on if you got a minute or not. I'm probably gonna jump off here. I gotta go clean up and stuff. Oh, somebody. 1 second. They flagged that message, Tone. I don't know why. Oh, here. Let me pull it up real quick. Try to stay organized. Daily activities. Whoops. Today. Okay, now I'm gonna turn you back over. This was today. So there's a LS3 engine. He just kept it black. He didn't put a whole lot of chrome on it. I got a wire in the alternator and then loom the rest of this crap on the backside, but the fuse box is right over here. He's gonna put it up on a shelf, and I'm gonna wire in the mains here. And then there's he's deleted the windshield wiper motor, so this thing's gonna be a dry runner. And then the rest of the dash, I have everything set up to plug right into the dash, but I needed to make so the ashtray is going away, and I had to make a bezel for it so that we could use the OBD2, because over there in the corner is the Dakota Digital, and we needed an OBD port. He wanted it in the ashtray hole, and then the switch for the Dakota Digital for programming it. So that's the little plate that I made for that, and then I Frenched in the OBD2 port down here and drilled a hole right there for so there's the mock-up of it. And then it's got a left and right channel center speaker for the dash. I had to make this big metal plate for it and get it all Frenched in. I put a piece of 1/4-inch hose on this side to wedge it in and just kind of like compression fit up in there. Let me see. It's right here. So that's the hole I'm dealing with. In the center speaker, and I had to kind of work around the heater ducts there. That's why there's little notches on that side. And you see left and right channels on that speaker. And there it is. I gotta fit it in, and it actually holds against that bracket on the bottom there where that ground wire is, that blue one in the center, and it just compression fits and holds it behind that lip with one screw. So that's pretty much what I did today. It wasn't a horrible mess, but saw the other video. I got the trunk finished. That was pretty quick and easy. Nothing big going on there. But it's a nice car. It's dirty, but it's a nice car. Dan finished putting in the fuel pump, A&N fittings. I don't know. I'm not savvy to all the fittings and the plumbing that needs to go on those high pressure fuel pumps. He got some fuel pump connectors and everything. He's gonna run the lines tomorrow. Yeah, those fancy fuel pumps and that sending unit that you have to like extend and make your own sending unit, and then you have to like adjust the float and then tighten that down. It's all custom. Dan did all that. I mean, I could do it, but it just seems like a fucking hassle. He got all that lined up. He's gonna throw the tank in tomorrow and plug it into the wiring harness, and then hopefully he'll build that shelf for the fuse box. And then I can finish up my wiring, and then we can see if it works. And then it's always a trick, because when you're doing like a paneless wiring harness and adding in the decoded digital, it's like the turn signal indicator on the gauge cluster doesn't work, and you have to jump it over to the main harness. It's like something always falls off, or some, just the little things. So we got to do that. I got to finish up that goddamn warranty from last year, that Acura MDX transmission. I think I'm going to start about 3 or 4 in the morning tomorrow and try to get that thing buttoned up. And then I'm getting back to answering the phone and scheduling people. So hopefully everything works out smoothly and I can keep on top of everything. But all right, Tony, everybody else, I am jumping off. I will try to be back here in a while. Thanks for showing up. And I don't know. I need to. Yeah, no worries. I need to come with a better presentation. I don't have a topic of discussion. We're going to pull up some old projects and go through them. I'm going to pull up the 292 next time I go live and make you sit through what I did with the entire project. That's what I'll do. We'll go through the 292. All the pictures, beginning to end. Because that was a long project. That was a nice build. So you guys should sit with me and experience that. So let me go eat some dinner or something, and I'll come back live in an hour or two when everybody gets off work and actually gets home and sitting down. Talk to you later, Tony. All right, you guys have a good night.